Welcome to my YouTube channel Reactant, and today we will see what are the limiting reactants and what are the excess reactant. Okay, suppose that there is a chemical reaction. In this, we have to determine what is the limiting reactant and what is the excess reactant. Okay, for a particular chemical reaction. Okay, so suppose that there is a reaction which is A plus B will give C plus D, okay, or A plus 2B will give C plus 3D, okay. So this is a chemical reaction. In this, the moles of A, which are initially are moles of A are 4 and moles of B are 3, okay. So we have to determine that who is the limiting reactant in this and who is the excess reactant, okay. So limiting reactant will be the reactant who will be in the less quantity during the reaction, okay. So limiting reactant will be in deficiency during chemical reaction, okay, and excess reactant will be in the excess, okay, during any chemical reaction. Okay, so this is the basic difference between the limiting and the excess reactant. Okay, so suppose that there is an equation A plus 2B will give C plus 3D. In this, number of moles initially A are 4 and the number of moles of B initially are 3, and we have to determine that who is the excess reactant and who is the limiting reactant. Okay, so suppose that when the reaction will proceed, if the moles of A are 4, the moles of B required are 8. Okay, but the moles of B here are 3 only. Okay, so this is in the limiting, okay, B, and A is in the excess because A moles are required are 1 by 2 of the B, but B moles required are double of that of A. Okay, so in this, the number of moles A required B required will be 8 if the number of moles of A are 4, but the number of moles of B are 3, so the B will be in the limiting. Okay, so B is the limiting reactant and A is the excess reactant. Okay, so this is the equation which we have to see. Okay, so suppose that there is a one more example. A plus 2A plus 3B will give C plus 8D. Okay, so this is the chemical reaction. Okay, in this we have to determine that who is the limiting and excess reactant. So suppose that moles of A are 6 and the moles of B are 2. Okay, so we can clearly see that the moles of, if the number of moles of A are 1, so the number of moles required will be 3 by 2. Okay, so if the number of moles are 6, so the number of moles required of B will be 3 by 2 into 6, which will be 9. Okay, so 9 moles of B will be required if the moles of A are 6, because 3 by 2 times the number of moles of A will be required for any particular chemical reaction. Okay, but the number of moles of B are only 2, so the B will be in the limiting. Okay, B is the limiting and A is in the excess. Okay, so this is the uh, uh, procedure by which we can clearly determine who is in the limiting case and who is in the excess. Okay, so suppose that there is a one more chemical reaction which is A plus 2B will give C plus 2D. Okay, so suppose that A moles are 2 and B moles are 4. Okay, and this is the chemical reaction in which these are the initial moles which are given. So these are the initial moles which are there. Okay, so in this we can clearly see if the number of moles of A are 1 required, so the number of B moles will be 2 required. Okay, double. So double the moles of A will be required by that of B. Okay, so in this we can clearly see the number of A moles are 2 and B moles are 4 also. Okay, but the double moles of B are there. Okay, so no one is in excess. Okay, and no one is in limiting. Okay, so we can clearly see no one is in excess and no one is in limiting in this case. Okay, so like this we can clearly tell which is the limiting and which is in the axis. Okay,